Here we go again. Another year, another train sim world that I'm struggling to get excited about. Train Sim World 6 is coming. It's confirmed September 30th. So if you're excited about that, good for you. I'm trying to find reasons to be excited about it. It's exactly what I expected personally. I was expecting us to get a 3 route DLC packaged as a new game, basically. And that's what we got. We got a British route, the Riviera line with the Great Western Railway stuff, which is cool. I think the British people will really like that, and anybody who's a British railway enthusiast will love that. And honestly, I'll definitely drive it, and I'll enjoy it too. I've always enjoyed driving in Great Britain and stuff like that. We also get the German route. We get Leipzig to Dresden, which is actually a extension from the previous Riesa to Dresden route, which is actually doubling the size of this route. So to be honest, this to me is one of the biggest features or things in Train Sim World 6 is the fact that we're getting the most popular and probably the best route to ever come to Train Sim World gets even better. You have a ton of trains, like almost every German train runs on this route, and they're doubling the size. So it's like 100 and something kilometers in length now, which is gonna be pretty nuts. So I am looking forward to that for sure. The Leipzig to Dresden route in Germany. Looking forward to that for sure. And now for us US people, which, you know, we tend to feel left out, and I definitely do most of the time feel left out when it comes to content in Train Sim World, and that is the Morristown line. Which is New York and Hoboken to Dover, basically in New Jersey, using the New Jersey Transit Aero 3 EMU, which is a new locomotive to the line. But we did already have the ALP 46 in the previous New Jersey Transit line. And that could be also brought over to this line as well, but only in the deluxe edition. So as always, we have the deluxe edition with a few new locomotives and things like that. I'm not going to go too deep into that. This is more me talking about my opinion on the state of Train Sim World 6 today. And I'll leave the news to all the other news YouTube channels. That's not what I do. So what's really changing with Train Sim World 6? What are the new features? Well, we only got 3. We have a whole new game, a whole new Train Sim World for 3 new features. Like, come on, what are we doing? This is like my 3rd year. Speaking of 3, this is like my 3rd year making this exact video complaining about how we don't need another Train Sim World. We need the same Train Sim World with updates because we're still in the same engine. The graphics have not improved. It still stutters. Anyways, what's new? So we got train faults, so like failures and stuff like that. We have random events, and we have passenger and platform announcements, which I will give Dovetail credit. We have been asking for these exact features, so they definitely listen. They definitely know what the community wants. They know what we've been asking for, and so that means they know that I want multiplayer. Why don't we have multiplayer or co-op or something? Okay, whatever. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not the majority though. I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand the community. Maybe I'm on an island by myself. Chat, help me out. What do you want? What features are we missing in 6 that we should have had? I don't know. Let me know. Just drop that in the chat right now. So yes, we get train faults, random events, passenger platform announcements. Those all sound like great things. And honestly, when I first saw those features, I was definitely excited. Yes, I was excited until I saw a little deeper. So let's talk about train faults. Let's talk about train failures. So basically the failures that we do get are, you know, non-fatal failures, like the wipers getting stuck, the lighting, like the headlights stop working, the tilting function on like the 2 trains that can do that stops working, or turbo failures on the few trains that have that. And that's it. Those are all the Train Sim World 6 implemented failures. Now, I do wonder if like maybe they now have added an underlying failure tech that makes it easier for third parties to add failures to their like future trains, which is good. I think it's needed to make core updates, right? So that the other third parties can do a better job. But like, I don't know, I guess I expected more. Like when I hear train fault, I'm thinking like, you know, brakes sticking or like all kind of stuff. Like if you turn failures on, there is a risk factor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know all these faults are like non-fatal, but there's gotta be more things we can do here. We gotta be able to expand upon this fault system. And I feel bad that like we've been asking for train faults, and I can see from their perspective, they're like, yo, like we're giving you failures now. But then I'm like, okay, you gave us failures, but you gave us like 3. You gave us like 3. I'm like, come on. It's like me being at a restaurant and asking for a burger, and you give me this tiny little slider, and and you just give me one. Like you asked for a burger, right? Like this is just enough to like whet our appetite, but like it's not gonna, I don't know. Again, maybe when we play, I have not played the game yet, right? But maybe when we play, it'll be a bigger difference than I think. But I just feel like the failures that they gave us are so minimal that like I could care less if my wipers are stuck. If it ain't raining, I don't care. Like if my headlights don't work, like unless you're in the US, you don't even use headlights. You know what I mean? And again, it's only a few trains that use tilting function, so that's weird. Now you can toggle the train fault on or off in the settings menu, but I don't know. I mean, again, maybe it'll make a bigger difference when I've played the game myself. So let's talk about random events. Now this is a big one too. I was very excited when I saw that they had random events coming to the new game, and I'm like, man, like we've really been wanting that. That's gonna be the one thing to finally make driving on the timetable really be like feel dynamic and like you never know what's gonna happen. Because right now you kind of know like you're pretty much good. It's just like you just cruise, especially on longer drives. You know nothing's ever gonna go wrong. Your train's gonna work perfectly fine. Nobody's gonna get in your way. There's not gonna be any delays unless you're driving the Expert BR101. But anyways, in the same way I was disappointed with what we get from the random failures, I'm having the same issue with random events, because all we're getting is signal delays and temporary speed restrictions. I don't understand. So a signal delay is an occasional signal will take longer than usual to transition from red to not red. I'm like, okay. All right, I'm okay with that existing, but like, that's it. Like, okay, it takes a little bit longer for a signal to turn from one color to the next. So what, right? I have to wait a couple seconds. And we have temporary speed restrictions. So these will show up randomly at various lower speeds and display on the track monitor. The events will reduce the speed limit and place an in-world temporary speed restriction board as appropriate in the right places, which I think is pretty cool as well. The fact that not only does it show up on the track monitor, but you also see a 3D model, right, of a sign that says you have a speed restriction to watch out for. That's kind of cool. But what I would like to expand there, again, I'm giving constructive criticism, right? What I like to expand there is like, don't just give me a temporary speed restriction, but give me a reason why I'm getting a temporary speed restriction, right? Is something wrong with the track or the track workers on the side? Like, kind of create an event, an actual event around that. Like if you're gonna spawn a sign that says, hey, slow down to 40 kilometers an hour now, also put some track workers on the side of the track as well, right? To show, okay, this is why I'm slowing down. Or maybe now I'm switching from the right track to the middle track because the right track is de-electrified. I don't know. You get where I'm going, right? You know, give me more. Give me more. I know. Gamers always want more, but whatever, man. So it's interesting. Again, random events can also be toggled on and off in the settings if you don't want to mess with that. But that's it. That's all we get. Signal delays and temporary speed restrictions. I don't know if that includes actual other trains getting delayed. Like that's kind of one thing I was hoping for, is like, you know, other AI trains could run into issues or faults, or maybe they get stuck at a station or have a disgruntled passenger or whatever, and now you're supposed to be after him, but because of a delay, you're either held back or you're allowed to go around him with a speed restriction, something like that. I don't know. I'm just, you know, be creative team. So, but again, it just seems so limited in these two areas. These two big features that the community's been really asking for seems so shallow, I guess is my issue here. And this is why I'm struggling to get excited about this, because although it sounds cool, you know, when you look into how they've done it and the few failures that we have and the very few random events we get, it starts to become and feel a little bit predictable and just shallow. Now, on the other hand, we have the third and final new feature for the whole new game, Train Sim World 6, and that is the passenger announcements. And I can't see a way to complain about this. We won't really know until we really hear it in the game, but I can understand that hearing the passenger announcements as you approach a station or depart a station is going to be so immersive. We've had a few routes in Train Sim World 5 and 4 that have had this feature, and I absolutely love it. So I'm have very high expectations for this. Hopefully the accents are good and it sounds authentic for the areas that they're in. And you also get platform announcements, which we sort of already had, but I think they were more generic. So I'm hoping that these new platform announcements will again sound a lot more authentic and actually sound like they do as they kind of do in real life. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But again, that's all we get is the 3 new features. And I truly believe this could have been an update. I say this every single year. It could have been an update. And, you know, I'm a Dovetail ambassador. I don't know how long I'll be an ambassador if I keep making videos like this, but I gotta be honest. I have an obligation to the community and the people who watch my videos for me to be as honest as possible and give my constructive criticism and use my voice to say what I believe about the sim and about the future of the sim. And to be honest with you, it's been a long time. I get asked all the time, hey, do you recommend Train Sim World? And I kind of hesitate. You know, I first ask, you know, what is it that you want exactly in a train sim? But normally I will tell them, hey, like, wait for it to go on sale because it's basically the same as the old game. And so far, I haven't played the game yet, but I'm not going to change how I feel there. Now, one thing I will say that I am a little bit more excited about, and that is actually the routes coming in the future of Train Sim World 6, the future of Train Sim World 6, specifically the new countries that we have coming to Train Sim World 6, and we have an additional, our second ever expert level train coming to Train Sim World 6. That is the Expert DB BR145, a very popular, very widely used German locomotive used on like every German route ever. And it's going to have a lot of cool features. It's going to have obviously the big red livery as always, but it's also going to have the ability to have like manual brake hoses and the operation of working angle cocks. Now that has never been done before in Train Sim World. I was hoping that that feature alone, the manual brake hose operation and working angle cock thing, I was hoping that that would be a core Train Sim World feature at some point that every train, you know, would get. I would love that to be a thing, especially that would be a big deal for US freight routes in particular. Not that big of a deal with passenger stuff unless you're doing shunting, but again, big deal for US freight and whatnot. But that's coming to Train Sim World 6 later. We don't have a date for that yet. But the other thing, as far as the new countries we have, is we have our first Czech route coming to Train Sim World. I'm not going to pretend to know how to pronounce the name of this route. I don't know much about this area of the world either, but again, I'm always welcoming new countries, and it's made by a third-party developer. So we're finally getting some third-party developers to actually show up and make some routes to extend and make Train Sim World even better. And in addition to that, we also have our first Portugal route. Portuguese, Lisbon. That's gonna be pretty cool, man. Another third-party developer is making this route in Portugal. Again, I've been to Portugal before in real life, but I've never been on the train there, so I don't know much about their railroad and stuff like that. But I am really, again, excited for another country to be coming to Train Sim World. And of course, many of us already know there's a Japanese route coming called the Todami line, which I am excited for that as well, because that's a part of the world I've definitely never been on a train before, and looking forward to see what that's like. Now, there is one US route, just one US route that's coming in the future that we've now learned about, called the New York to Stamford Northeast Corridor route. And I'm a bit confused about exactly what this is. Is this a freight route, or is this a Metro North M8 route, or is it a mix? I think it's a mix, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But again, of course, I'm always welcoming any new American route we can get. We'll have to wait to get more details. I have a feeling this is probably way out in the future. I don't think these features warrant a whole new train sim world. But I guess Dovetail is going to do what Dovetail does. We'll have to wait and see how these new features play out in train sim world. I will still play it. Sadly, there is still no competition, so we're kind of held hostage by this franchise until somebody else shows up to give us another option of a different train sim to play. But as always, let me know what you think. What do you think about the new announcement of Train Sim World 6? Are you excited? Are you excited about the core game, or are you excited about a particular route? Or have you given up completely on the whole franchise? Let me know in the comments, and stay tuned because I will be doing some early access gameplay of Train Sim World 6 when I get the chance. Thanks for watching, and remember, you have 3 choices: give up, give in, give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time, next video. I'm out.